Hello. Today's topic is going to be about feeling the feelings and what that means and what it doesn't mean, and perhaps some misconceptions within the realm of non duality and whatnot. Right? So I think the expectations that many have when realization is realized or remembered is that incidents and events and things that happen within the realm of experience that may cause emotions like anger, sadness, frustration, jealousy to arise, that these things are bad, quote unquote, or shouldn't be happening. Like sometimes I feel like, those emotions arise and then there's some resistance to those emotions because there's a thought saying, oh, I shouldn't be feeling this way, or it shouldn't be this intense. If it's this intense, then maybe I'm not really where I think I am or what I think I am. But the truth of the matter is that all of those thoughts and ideas and pushbacks and resistances are simply just what's arising here within this open space of awareness. And so it doesn't mean that there won't be intensity of emotion, like jealousy or anger, right? And even then, those words are just descriptors of sensations that can sometimes be paired with thoughts. So our job, if anything, is to just be with what's arising and accept it. And acceptance in this case only means not resisting the sensations as they flow through the body, whether it's tightness in the chest or a constriction in the throat or tension in the head. Just to allow those sensations to run their course through the body. And even being able to witness those sensations is such a deep example of the guidance and the open space doing its job, right? Just allowing things to flow through. Because when we try and push back against whatever intensity is arising, it just perpetuates it longer. And you end up in a loop of repeating intensity and thoughts and things that ultimately are not going to aid in the digestion of what's happening. So, yes, sometimes I feel anger and jealousy. And I think because when you're at the point or when you are just used to resting as the open space, the contrast that arises when you have those emotions is really big. And so it feels almost worse than maybe before realization. But really what's just happening is the contrast is just defined and identified. And there's a choice between leaning into the contrast and questioning the contrast and just letting the intensity go through its natural phase. And it doesn't mean that it won't be or feel slightly uncomfortable. Like that might just be what's happening, and that's okay too. It doesn't mean that there's something necessarily wrong with where you're at or what's occurring within the process. In terms of what might be causing the emotions or the situations, I think that's an opportunity for us to exercise discernment and intuition and see, is this sort of situation or predicament something that is prompting you or inviting you to go below neutrality, right? Or to dip into stories and mind programs? Are you overextending? Let's say if it's a relationship or something, like, are you overextending? And you're not even fully aware that you are. and this overexertion is causing these emotions and things like that, or these thoughts to arise, right? So just being aware of that kind of thing also will help in the digestion and maybe even prevention of those sort of intensities arising. But ultimately, I think this is all part of the integration process, if you want to call it that. But I see it simply as a refinement over time. Because since realization for me a few years ago, like I feel that each day and each sort of episode of life that develops is an opportunity for further refinement. And as I like to say, non-dual reps. So yeah, I think that's mostly what I wanted to say. As for the cadence for these videos, I mean, it seems to be that it could be once a week, but I enjoy spontaneously just discussing things that are seemingly relevant for all of us. But ultimately, I think that our job here is, if we have any, is just to surrender to what comes into our lives and see what it's trying to teach us. Stay open to the unfolding and allow for synchronicity, guidance, opportunity. Even when things are challenging or there's intensity, know that it's not necessarily for nothing. But these are opportunities for us to liquidate any sort of assets we have in the duality that we might have been previously subscribed to. So, yes, have a good day.